Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Finster. Aren't you there, Finster? Are you there? Yes, you're there. Hello. Say hi. Say hi to the team. Good girl. Yes, okay. This is a very difficult disc to review. It really is. Here we go. A program that I love, interesting, intelligent, and a little out of the ordinary, but performances that are just a mite below where they need to be. And that's a killer. That really is, because you really want to, really rooting for it, and I enjoyed it. It's enjoyable, but it's just not, it's not terrific. And I want it to be terrific. So what do we have here? We have the Borusan Istanbul Philharmonic Orchestra under Carlo Tenan. And the label is Onyx. I mean, it's a very, very good label. They've made a few records with this ensemble. And you get Bartók, the Dance Suite, Martinu's The Frescoes of Piero, della Francesca, which is quite unusual, Kodály's Dances of Galánta, and Enescu's Romanian Rhapsody No. 1, which I just love. Oh, God, it's yummy. Absolutely yummy. Now, here is the issue. There you go. That's the issue. It's all just a little snoozy, right? Yeah, I told you, right, Finster? Okay, let's let her rest, and let's talk about this stuff. Okay, here's the thing. The slow bits are fine. The timings all look normal, but they're all about a minute under where they need to be, and that minute is all in the fast music. So that means that the contrast between slow and fast isn't quite what it ought to be. And the quicker stuff is just a mite sluggish. The dance suite, for example. The dance suite is fascinating because it consists of a single movement in which the dances are separated by a ritornello. The ritornello is ya da 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 dum bum ba, ya da 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 dum. I mean, and there's a version of that between each dance. And then, the dances are in different tempos and they have to sound really contrasted. And the rhythms have to hit really hard. Cha, 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 ow, ow, Anyway, it's just not. It's a little bit slow, like I said before, just a hair. But when you listen to the competition, well, it is what it is. Then Martinu, the Frescoes of Piero della Francesca. Well, this is a glorious 3-movement piece. Absolutely haunting, and it's late Martinu, which is that dreamy, hallucinatory style. The opening is that, I mean, it just floats, and you've got these strange solo violin things doing like insect noises, and it's all about rhythm. It really is. Otherwise, the piece sort of degenerates into this shapeless pudding of a thing, and here, I mean, I wouldn't say that doesn't really degenerate, but it just needs more energy in the outer movements. It really does. And, the last movement is a battle scene. Da-da, 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 ba-da, 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 sort of chunk, clank, clink, whatever. Anyway, the bottom line is that it just doesn't take off the way it has to. And that means those sprung rhythms, those constant syncopated rhythms, just don't float the way they're supposed to. It's not terrible, but we know this piece well enough to know how it's supposed to go and what it's supposed to sound like. And when it doesn't do that, then it's disappointing. All right, Kodály, the Dances of Galánta. Well, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it's exactly the same thing. I mean, there are such exciting performances of this piece. Really can fly, really extraordinary, and it should have you hanging on by the skin of your fingernails, the cuticles, or whatever, the skin of your teeth, the cuticles of your nails. I mean, at the end should be a roller coaster ride, and it's a pretty slow roller coaster. Again, if you don't know the work, I keep saying again, but what can I tell you? It's a very unified program in the sense that all of the defects are common to all 4 performances. And then the same finally is true of Romanian Rhapsody No. 1, which I adore. adore, and which I am anxious to get through the first part, more or less, so that we can get to the big stuff. You know, I mean, the violins have to be going nuts. They have to sound like one fiddle playing in unison at the very top speed that they can play. And you should not be able to count measures. So I have to end it because you get the point. It's well recorded. It's nicely conducted. It's nicely played. It's a beautiful program, of Eastern European fun things. You want to play the whole thing straight through. They're well contrasted. It has so much going for it, except the interpretations are just not vibrant enough. And that's the bottom line. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.